Yung kabay. So, please rise and open your Bible in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10 to 31. So this morning we will study about the godly character of a virtuous woman, or I will say a virtuous wife. Because when we read this verse, we will see the features of her marriage, her motherhood, her faith, her beauty, and his godly character. So please rise. And we will read together all from verse 10 up to the last verse. So are you there? Yes. Okay, let's begin in verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? The heart of her husband that safely trusts in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships, she bringeth her forth abroad. She riseth also when it is at night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considered the field, and by it, with the fruit of her hands, she planted a vineyard. She girded her loins with strength, and strengthened her arms. She perceived that her merchandise is good, her candle goeth not out by night. She laid her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the staff. She stretched out her hand to the poor, yea, she reached forth her to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry, her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen, and selleth, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honors are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She looked well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up, and all her blessed, her husbands also, and embraceth her. Have done virtuously, but thou excellent them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but the woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own work praise her to gates. Amen. So let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you once again for this opportunity. Thank you for this morning, O Lord, to come together to worship you and study your words, O Lord. May the Holy Spirit speak through to me, Lord, and that your words will be learned from each and every one, Lord. We thank you, we praise you, we bow for the glory and honor in Christ Jesus. Amen. Amen. Be seated. So when we read these verses, we discover a appalling picture of a woman who is morally upright and of noble character, possessing many qualities. So in today's era, we see lots of women of all ages following obvious role models. We have some of them are celebrities, politicians, entrepreneurs in the business world, which features in the books, in the social media, and in magazines. Perhaps we shall experience two contrasting reactions. We shall be inspired and full admiration for her. But then in a short time, we may be discouraged and cry out in the words of verse 10. It literally reads, who can find such a woman? O sino mo makakatagpo ng ganong babae na halos perfecto na kung ating iisipin. So, who can find a virtuous woman? So, a virtuous, from a noun meaning good, strength, efficiency, honorable. So, who can find this kind of woman? As the verse of spirit, she is far more valuable and more far from ruby. So, kung yung ruby is a kind of a treasure, so higit pa doon yung halaga ng this woman. This kind of woman is very hard to find. She is like a rare gem. Out of a billion women in this world, this woman is not only a rare gem, but a beautiful gem. Many fine Christian women possess some. So may mga ibang mga Kristiyano na meron mga ganong katangian, kung hindi naman lahat, mayroong lang ilan-ilan. Possibly, this is a kind of composite pictures. The important thing is for us to measure up to the full stature of God's purpose for us as its individuals, and to use all the gifts which He has given for us for His glory and for the blessings of others. Incidentally, so those 22 verses really constitute a poem which is representative to us. In acrostic form, it's verse beginning with one of the successive letters of the Hebrew alphabet. There is a wealth of detail from which we must select the important points. So, meron pong isang yaman o makikita natin nakadetalye dun sa mga binasa natin po. So, what is the important points? So, number 1, she was treasured by her husband. She was treasured by her husband. O isa sang yaman sa kanyang asawa. So, we see the happiness and ideal marriage which not only started well, but went on well. So, makikita po natin yung isang buhay ng mag-asawa, yung sa bagong mag-asawa. So, although sa simula pa lang, hindi na po maganda yung naging takbo. Pero eventually, in the process of marriage, magiging maayos na po, it went on well. We will compare on the following points in verse 10, 11, 12, 23 for the points we will discuss. So this marriage did not break down because their affection deepened and matured, and there was complete trust between husband and wife. The wife has 3 outstanding qualities. That's why her husband treasured her. So what are those qualities of this wife? So number 1, her trustworthiness. Her trustworthiness, o isa siya makapagkatiwalaang asawa. So in verse 11, the heart of her husband that safely trusts in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. So this husband didn't worry that his wife will have him interested in other men. So, and this woman is interested only to her husband and to her husband alone. Sadly, most husbands today cannot trust their wives because of that infidelity. So what is it, infidelity? Infidelity is the broken trust or a broken loyalty. Sadly, most husbands today, some women feel neglected by her husband, resulting in seeking the attention of others. So, yung mga ibang mga asawa o mga babae, pakiramdam nila nawawala ng passion yung asawa na sa kanila o attention. So, ang ginagawa ng ibang mga babae, tumitingin dun sa iba o they are seeking the attention of other men. Some women are too friendly to the other men, especially to their friends or co-worker, and causing them to fall into temptation. So yung mga babae lang po, masyado silang malapit dun sa kaibigan nila, isa dun sa kanilang mga asawa. So nangyayari, nagiging magkakaroon ng closeness and nakakaroon po ng temptation. So husband, if Satan cannot take you down from your health, he cannot take you down from your work, he can take you down with your marriage life. So being able to fully trust your marriage partner is the one fundamental foundation for strong, God-honoring marriage. So husband and wife, we need to safeguard our marriage life from infidelity of all its forms. So, not only her trustworthiness, and second, her affection o yung kanyang pagmamahal. So in the verse 12 and 28, it's read, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. In verse 28, her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also and praised her. So she greatly loved the man who greatly loved her. So mahal niya yung kanyang asawa na talagang mas malalim yung pagmamahal sa kanya. And this was the basis of this wonderful marriage. So not only isa lang yung nagmamahal sa kanyang asawa, but it's a way of give and take. So this woman is on his husband's side. She is beside him, helping in everything. So whatever the situation in life, her wife is also beside with her husband. She loves to please his husband. She is a submissive wife. She respects him and builds him up when he is down. So her husband and her children that who know her best see her unselfishness, love, and care that she has for all of them. So her family is really proud of her because of her traits. So she is a good mother and she is a good wife, and his family they let know her. So not only his trustworthiness, not only her affection, but number 3, her influence o yung kanyang influensya. In verse 23, it's read, her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. So, when her husband sat in the council with the elders of the land, they always immediately associated him with his wife. Lagi niya kasama, like the leader of the nation, yung first lady, lagi po, kung nasan po yung presidente, so nandun din po yung first lady. So this was Peter's here, because she was known to be such a beautiful and gracious lady. We find this verse which says nothing about the woman. So hindi naman, itong verse na tumigil natin, hindi man totally dun sa woman naka-points. But only to describe her husband as a prominent leader of the land. A well-known proverb says, behind every good man is a woman. So, but says, a godly wife contributes greatly to the successful and prosperity of her husband. So, number 1, she was treasured by her husband. So, isa po siyang yaman ng kanyang asawa. And then, number 2, she was capable in her home. O yung kakayahan niya, kakayanan niya sa kanyang tahanan. By home, we mean is a household. Hindi po talaga yung bahay, kundi yung nilalaman ng bahay. Because it would appear she was the lady of standing, having a fine home with husband, children and servants, and how will she manage the affairs of her household. So, this woman, this virtuous woman, her primary responsibility is to care, support, and her family. So, ang unang-unang kanyang obligasyon na responsibility ng babae ito ay yung kanyang pag-aalaga, yung suporta niya, at yung pagtulong niya sa family niya. So, in verse 13, in the following verse, so, number 1, her industry. So, dito makikita po natin, we will read her capability in 3 ways. So, number 1, her industry, o yung kanyang kabuhayan. So, in verse 13, 17, 19, 22, 24, 27, let me read the verses. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She gathered her loins with strength, and strengthened her arms. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands holdeth the staff. She maketh herself covering of tapestry, her clothing is silk and purple. She maketh fine linen, and selleth, and delivered girdles unto the merchant. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. So, makikita po natin dito yung babae, she was a busy woman. There was no chance of getting bored. So, wala po siyang time na naboboring na po siya dun sa kanyang bahay, sa ng tahanan. Many marriages suffer and the home life become disrupted because the wife is bored. So maraming mga pagkasama na mag-asawa ang napuputol dahil po yung babae nabuboring na po dun sa cycle ng kanilang ginagawa sa unang bahay. So, but this woman, makikita po natin na she's very busy with not only herself, but only the welfare of her family and her business. So, this woman, she takes great delight in her works. She is very dedicated to her work, to their business. She is not weakened by sloth or laziness, but she is a wonderful example of diligence and industrious. So, hindi po siya nanghihina sa kakatrabaho o nagkakaroon ng tinatamad siya. So, ito po yung magandang example yung isang masipag na asawa. So, her hours are characterized by diligently industry and laborious involvement in wholesome activities. She is not spending her time just by sitting o hindi niya po ginugugol yung kanyang oras sa umuupo lang sa bahay o nanonood lang ng TV o nag-Facebook or other things that na hindi po nagiging fruitful. So, with kahit pa yung talking to her friends and about some people or gossiping, so she spend more time by calling her friends about gossiping or other matters. So, number one, her industry. Number two, her prudence o yung kanyang kahinahunan. Yung tayong Tagalog 101. Kahinahunan. Her prudence. She is in verse 14, 16, 21, and 25. Let me read. In verse 14, she is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She considered a field and buy it. With the fruit of her hands are planted a vineyard. She is not afraid of the snow for his household, for all of her household are clothed with scarlet. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in the time to come. So, she is wise. This woman is a wise, discreet, and acted with forethought. She was a hard worker with the creative gifts, a manufacturer who bought and sold, and she did all this amazing business acumen. So, this woman doesn't do rashly on a sudden impulse. So, hindi basta-basta siya nag-iisip ng pabigla-bigla. Kundi pinag-iisipan niya ng maayos, ng mabuti, to be a successful wife. But she has given very careful thought to the matter, o yung binibigay ng pansin sa mga ingat na mga decision, yung sa mga bagay, and she has planned for her family, and she carefully thinks about what she needs. So, yung plano niya sa kanyang pamilya ay pinag-iisipan niya rin niya kung ano yung mga kailangan ng kanyang pamilya sa araw-araw nilang buhay. So, number one, her industry, yung kanyang kabuhayan. Number two, her prudence o kahinahunan. And number three, yung kanyang her energy. Her energy o yung kanyang kasiglahan. In verse 18, she perceived that her merchandise is good, her candle goeth not out by night. So, this woman, this virtuous woman, she rose up early and went to the bed late. So, mas maaga siyang gumigising, pero late lamang siyang matulog. She know how to manage her servants, invest money, handle property, and do business in the market. So she is too busy to think about herself for the sake of her family. So that's what I mentioned earlier. She was a busy woman. So siguro, bago po siya tumulog, pinagpaplanuhan niya na kung ano yung gagawin niya kinabukasan, yung mga plano niya. And she didn't even think of herself, of what she needs. So, this woman woman finds how profitable her business is as the experience the sale of its product. So, siguro pinikwenta niya dito kung magkano tinubo niya o magkano tinubuhin niya. She sees that her trading is profitable. So, masigla siya. Siyempre, yung business mo, tumutubo, siguro hindi magiging masigla. Yeah? She is reaping what she sowed by her business. So, and she is finding it to be a good harvest. So, naging masigla din siya na yung kanyang ginagawang business, nakikita niya ng mabuting a good harvest o isang magandang pamumuhunan. She is seeing the result, the labors of her hands. So nakikita niyo pa yung resulta ng kanyang mga pinagpapaguran. She learns that success result from her labors and she reap the fruits of her hard work. So nalalaman niya na yung kanyang mga yung kanyang magiging matagumpay resulta sa kanyang mga trabaho yung ginagawa. So and she reaps the fruits of hard work. And so number one, she was treasured by her husband. Number two, she was capable in her home, o yung kanyang kakayanan sa loob ng bahay. And number three, she was loved by her children, o mahal siya ng kanyang mga anak. The beautiful thing this is, why did her children love her so much? So bakit mahal na mahal siya ng kanyang mga anak? In verse 28, tell us that they did. In verse 15, 17, in the following verse, tell us why her children love her mothers, or why these children love this kind of woman or kind of mothers. It's because she had three outstanding qualities. So this woman has three outstanding qualities. So what are those qualities? Number one, thoughtfulness. Yung kanyang pagkamalahanin. Thoughtfulness, in Tagalog, pagkamaalalahanin. She was self-effacing. O siya yung pumapawi sa sarili niya, always thinking of others. Iniisip niya po yung kapakanan din ng iba, hindi lang po yung sarili niya. But her first concern is the welfare of her family. Even though she thinking the other people, but she made it sure that his concern on her family is the first priority. How busy she was, okay? Mas inuuna pa niya yung kakayanan ng kanyang asawa. How different from many of today's mothers who are self-centered and have no room or time for their children. Number one is thoughtfulness. Number two, her discipline. O yung kanyang pagiging disiplinado. And verse 17 says, she gathered her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. We see here a woman who gathers her flowing garments tightly around her, drawing them up to leave her feet free so that she can go about her work unrestricted, o malaya siyang gumagalaw o nagtatrabaho kung ano lang gusto niyang gawin for the welfare of her family. This is the symbol of the disciplined life. She disciplined herself and knew how to discipline her children. So this woman is a well-mannered, well-disciplined. So as a mother, siya po nagiging example sa kanyang mga anak. So that she could discipline her children very well also. That is one great reason why her children love her. So kaya po mahal na mahal siya ng kanyang mga anak dahil po yung pagtrato ng kanyang ina sa kanila. So children are not only better for it, but they like the right kind of discipline. So hindi po, kumbaga yung disiplina ng kanilang ina ay hindi po rustly o hindi po mahigpit talaga na kumbaga in the line of the God's word. So Number one of the outstanding qualities is her thoughtfulness. Number two, her discipline. And number three, her wisdom, yung kanyang karunungan o kaalaman. She opened it in verse 26. It says, she opened her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. So, in the Amplified verse, in verse 26, she opens her mouth with its skillful and godly wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness, giving counsel and instruction. So, ano po ba yung law of kindness? So, look up and compare Ephesians 4:32. It says, and be kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, had forgiven you. So, ano po yung the law of kindness? So what a heritage to have a mother like this. Her speech conveys her wisdom and kindness. So, her words builds up and don't let her down. She is not a gossip, a slanderer. Her tongue is the law of kindness. Her tongue is the law of kindness. So, what is the law? Law is an authority, and authority brings another thing into subjection. So, authority, therefore, which govern her tongue and nagging, screaming, and yelling your husband and children, is not the law of kindness. What a wonderful world we must live in our home if our tongue is bound with the law of kindness. So, this woman is abide with the law of kindness. Hindi po siya yung sumisigaw, hindi po siya laging nagtatalag. But yung kanya pong mga sinasabi ay may authority, okay, na may kabutihan o may kahinahunan. So, number one, she was treasured by her husband. Number two, she was capable in her home. Number three, she was loved by her children. And number four, she was generous to her neighbors. O siyang nakagbigay sa kanyang kapitbahay o sa ibang tao. So those were those living nearby who were not so well placed as she was. So may kanyang mga kapitbahay, hindi naman po ganun kaganda yung buhay katulad sa babae ito na nabanggit in our lessons. So they were poor. See in the verse 20. She stretched out her hands to the poor, yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. So we will notice that she showed her practical Christian grace towards them in three ways. So ano po yung tatlong kaparaanan na yun, to stretch her hands o yung kanyang tulong doon po sa mga nangangailangan sa kanyang kapitbahay o sa ibang mga tao. So number one is her charity. Her charity o yung kanyang gawang-gawa. The poor, although she was so efficient and concerned about looking after her own family, she was not selfish. Her sympathies went out to those near to her home. So, gaano po kaganda yung this woman, gaano po kaganda po yung buhay niya, at concerned about looking her family, pero hindi na po siya isang makasarili o she was not a selfish. So yung kanyang sympathy, yung kanyang awa ay ibinibigay niya doon sa mga nangangailangan, sa mga tao, mas higit na nangangailangan kaysa sa kanya. Not only her charity. Number two, her generosity. So ano po yung generosity o yung kanyang kabutihang loob. In the verse 20, still in the verse 20, open her arms. So, She was opened her arms for the people needs her help. She gave generously according to what she had. She was not mean or stingy, but lavish. So, ibinibigay kung anong meron siya, ibinibigay niya, at she was not mean or stingy. Ano ba yung stingy? Stingy is maramot. Siguro hindi ito Ilocano. But lavish o galante itong babae ito. Not only her charity, yung kanyang gawang-gawa, not only her generosity, o yung kanyang kabutihang loob, but also her involvement. And number 3, her involvement, o yung kanyang nakikisangkot siya, nakikihalubilo. Still in verse 20, when you read, extend her hands. So, this woman, she did not simply send money, but with herself, becoming involved in practical ways. So, what a neighbor and benefactor. So, itong babae po ito, she not only send her money to her neighbors, but she made it sure this money is more to helping her neighbors. O mas inaalam pa po niya yung sitwasyon ng mga tao, tinulungan niya, na yung ibinibigay niya, hindi lang napupunta kung saan, kundi sa pangailangan talaga yung kanyang tinutulungan. Above praises, emphasize the fact that the virtuous woman has compassion towards the poor and needy and show her compassion with concrete deeds of mercy. So, ito po yung babae, ito po, this virtuous woman, meron po siyang compassion, yung awa sa mga mahihirap at sa mga nangangailangan.
Amen.
She loves the poor. Oh, this poor is the helpless or the needy person or affected. So, Christians, if you are lover of the Lord, you should lover of the poor also. So this woman is not in word only, and not only in tongue, but by in action, and also in deed and truth. God's people are to have a heart of compassion for those who are physically and materially poor and needy. So ito po, yung mga God's people po, as a believer, so that meron po tayo mga compassionate heart towards to the poor and the needy persons. May God give us wisdom and discernment in how to be best meet the needs of those which God puts us in contact. This woman has a big giving heart. So ito pong babae ito, this virtuous woman, may malaki siyang malasakit o malaking puso sa pagtulong niya sa kanyang kapwa. And last, number 5, she was blessing to her Lord. Nakakalugod siya sa kanyang Panginoon, sa kanyang asawa. The secret of this virtuous noble woman is in verse 30, which in the Amplified verse 3, charm and grace are deceptive, and beauty is vain, because it is not lasting. But a woman who reverently and worshipfully fears the Lord, she shall be praised. In our King James Version, it says, favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Here, we see that doing favors can be good. To have a wife who is attractive, to look at is nice. But the very best you can do is to have a wife who fears the Lord. So, gentlemen, this is the most a good quality for having a wife who fears the Lord.
Amen.
What is to fear the Lord? One writer had said that godly fear is not thinking apprehensively, it is love upon its knees. So ano po yung mga katangian po yun ng isang a godly wife? So, she's loved the Lord. Her love o yung kanya pong pagmamahal sa kanyang Panginoon, her love to the Lord. In Psalms 116, verse 1, it's read, I love the Lord because He hath heard my voice in my supplication. Number 2, she desired in all things to please Him. And Hebrews chapter 11, verse 5, because of her good testimony. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see her death, and was not found because God has translated him. For therefore his translation, he had this testimony that he is God. 3, she endeavored to obey him. So this woman, character because of her obedience. In Acts chapter 5, verse 29, it says, Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey God rather than men. In Mark chapter 48, of this woman about her faithfulness, or she served him faithfully. In verse 8, she had done what she could. She is come beforehand to anoint my body to the burying. Not only her faithfulness, but her service. In Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 1 to 2, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye might prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. And most of all, this woman, she know the meaning of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 16 to 18. And 16, she rejoice evermore. And 17, she pray without ceasing. And number 18, everything things give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. So, to the unmarried men and had planned to marry, if you're looking for the spouse, look not into the worldly qualification, but spiritual qualification.
Amen.
You don't need to be concerned over her looks.
Right.
Kahit maganda, kahit kunting ganda, okay na.
Amen.
Kahit maganda, kunti lang okay na, pwede na. It's not a beautiful one or a shapely one. Oh, pwede na yan. It is not necessarily intelligent, may konting alam. Not totally 100% na matalino eh. Kasi mahirap din mas matalino yung asawa at babae. Ay, yung po tayo. But the woman who fears the Lord. So, beautiful faces are everywhere. But beautiful attitude is hard to find.
Amen.
So, lastly, dear wives, let me ask you this. So, listen, wives. Are you treasured by your husband? O isa ka bang yaman ng asawa mo? Number 2, are you capable in your home? Number 3, are you loved by your children? Number 4, are you generous to your neighbors? Number 5, are you pleasing in the sight of the Lord? Or lastly, are you the woman described in Proverbs 12:4? It says, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bone. Are you this quality, or are you rotten to your wives? So, good morning everyone. Thank you.
Amen.